Hi everyone, it's me Lina again. Welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you a lot for checking my videos out. Before I'll start actually, talking, I'd like to ask you to give this video a thumbs up because I noticed some of you are very passive. It's important really, otherwise my video is not getting enough attention, I'd say. Also, don't forget to comment on this video. Perhaps we can even chat, and exchange, our opinions on certain things. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe if this is the type of content you like. Usually I talk about my life lately and stuff like that, so I'm more into vlogs recently. I would like to make more reviews, but I don't know, I kind of don't feel like doing so. Perhaps I will if I'll find something super exciting or I'll be passionate about something enough. I decided to make my content a little bit more personalized rather, and I feel like even if to look at it from the point of like what people like and from the point of developing channel, I think that reviews, they are not personalized enough and people don't subscribe as much. While when you do vlogs, some people at least are curious and they want to follow you, to subscribe. So it's quite different. So sometimes you have to choose if you want more views or if you want more subscribers, more loyal subscribers who gonna be there with you and watch your videos in future. Perhaps my life is not exciting enough, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a diary, and I still try to review certain things in my vlogs too. So quite often I show you what I buy as skincare products and stuff like that. So it's still pretty much the same, except of maybe I don't dedicate videos to like one product and stuff like that. Anyways, there is something I really wanted to bring up, and it is the fact that I don't mention Ukraine much in my videos. I did recently actually, but it looks like I've been avoiding this topic quite a bit. And this is because, when I watch news or when I read news, I start to get really anxious. So I have this rule now about watching news or reading news at certain period of time, meaning like certain time of the day rather. I actually avoid watching a news or reading news late in the evening. So for example, I did it yesterday and my hands started to shake. So yeah, I started to get very shaky hands, or how should I say it, and I had to like calm down. I had to take my CBD drops and stuff like that. I couldn't sleep at night, so this is the reason why I kind of avoid this topic. I feel like I repost a lot of information about Ukraine on my Twitter, so perhaps if you really curious about it, curious perhaps is not even the right word, but if you want to follow all the events and know what is happening, you can follow me on Twitter. I don't have enough nerves. I'm not sure how to express myself in English, but yeah, I'm still not in my perfect mental state in order to talk more about Ukraine and situation there. And yeah, it's difficult for me in the way of it makes me feel bad, anxious. And yesterday, the news and all the things that I've been reading and watching were not necessarily all negative. Still, somehow it put me in very bizarre state, in very odd mood. I feel like another reason for that was also the fact that I had too much iced tea yesterday. So caffeine makes me anxious too and makes me super hyped up or hype. I'm not sure which one is the right expression, but I think you know what I'm trying to say here. So also another thing I actually mentioned in my previous vlog, stuff about my passport, my documents and stuff like that, and I said something that is not true, And this is probably because I don't remember everything, I guess, by now. I guess I forgot how it was exactly, probably because of the events that followed, war. So I said something like that I went back to the city where I'm from after we just got married. So it is not true. I went after a few days because my husband took maybe a week or 10 days, basically like a vacation from work. So he came to Ukraine and we went to Lviv where we got married, and we had this little ceremony. Could I call it ceremony? I guess so. And we actually stayed in this nice hotel, and I even, was learning how to swim and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty nice. And it was around 7 days, maybe 8. I would have to probably maybe even watch my vlogs to remember, because I definitely talked about it and so on. So I didn't go to the city where I'm from straightforward after we, got married. I think after a few days we came to Lviv, we set the date, then we had the ceremony, and after that there were a few days left of our holidays, let's say, and then I went back to city where I'm from. And the next day after I came, even though I came late in the evening by train, I went to get my passport changed, fixed, let's say, because I was changing my surname, my last name, is it? So this is how it was. I felt like correcting myself because the things I said previously were a bit wrong. I guess I already kind of forgot stuff, and also because war started so suddenly, I was in stress. I was in state of shock. I even remember that I kept filming reviews because how shocked I was. I would talk about Ukraine in my videos, but I would talk about situation, I would cry, but I would still make reviews because it would help me to get distracted. So yeah, I was pretty much in a state of shock, and the thing is, I already had my anxiety and it was pretty bad. I'd say worse than it is now. So yeah. By the way, my fancy breeches, new ones, actually arrived, and they look pretty good. They're very tight, and well, this is tight on me. And the thing is, they actually sent me a size bigger than I ordered, but it turned out to be perfect, as smaller one would be too small. So it actually worked out pretty well. I'm gonna show you how it looks like on me. It's very interesting story because I started to get really annoyed about all this. They had something on their side saying, we're gonna start processing the orders like starting 21st of August. So I don't know whether they've been away or, not like a cat that much, but yeah, I still felt like it was already like 30th of August, so I actually emailed them. So this is the case. I have breeches now, so I'm ready, for my classes. And I actually decided to order new trainers too, something that was on sale. It wasn't very expensive. And also I ordered like a Nike top. I want to look good when I'll be poking someone with the foil or something else. I'm just joking, don't take it serious, because I noticed some people really take everything I say very seriously. By the way, why I'm right now in this park is because I'm going to my chiropractic session. By the way, I noticed I've been calling it chiropractor session. I actually asked my husband what is correct, and firstly he told me the wrong way of saying it. I'm not blaming him, he probably was busy, and I always sometimes ask him about stuff, and he's like, busy. So yeah, I shouldn't. He says that I prioritize things I do, and I think that things I do are the most important. And of course it's wrong, and I know it is, but sometimes I cannot, do it differently. I think that's because I have this OCPD, so it can be tough for me. I don't do it intentionally. For example, work or duties, whatever, it's important and I don't want to let anyone down, you know? Does it make sense? Like, yeah, that's how I would say it. And also I want to finish all the tasks. I don't know, it's like sitting on, you know, in my head. I call it like sitting on my head, because this is how I would express myself in Ukrainian. I'm checking my makeup because, you know, it's so hot. It's just so ridiculously hot. Also, I have very dry eyes and sometimes they water. So basically when you have dry eyes, sometimes what happens is like they get very like watery. So my husband decided to attend beginner classes. That's very interesting. I'm curious how he's gonna go. I have the feeling that he's gonna be better than I am. Talking about fencing, I cannot wait for my, well, I was gonna say classes, but let's say season to begin. I'm really excited, and I mean, I've been missing it because it's something that you already kind of like used to do, and it definitely keeps me distracted from my anxiety and all those thoughts. So it's something that is cool, and also I enjoy it. I don't feel like I'm that great, but I'm enjoying it because it's something I always wanted to do. I mean, I remember I would talk about fencing ages ago, like definitely ages ago. I would say that not many of my friends knew that I was into it. I also noticed that some people react very in an interesting way when I say that, you know, I do it as a hobby. I feel like people think that it's something very, you know, like pretentious and something very unique, irregular rather. Well, it's definitely not something that is mainstream, and this is why I like it. Also, I've been thinking about it, why I like it, and I'm not sure if I necessarily like it because of, you know, some like actual, I don't know how to call it, like fights in movies. I think I like the actual, let's call it sport. I like the way the actual sport looks like. I guess some movies influenced, but movies where they would be doing the actual fencing, not just, you know, sword fighting. Does it make sense? I'm not sure if it makes sense what I'm trying to say, but yeah. Also, all the people in that fencing club I'm like attending, let's say, are very nice, friendly, and I would say helpful. So, I mean, it's really cool, I'd say. Quite often they are gathering for a drink in a pub, and yeah. I mean, after classes, after, you know, sessions. By the way, yesterday, which was what, a Sunday, we went to Ping Pong restaurant and we had some dim sum, and it was pretty cool. Also, the area where our restaurant is located is very beautiful. We've been there before. I'd say it's quite famous. Anyways, I'm just gonna probably show you some bits or pictures of it. It was really nice, actually, pretty chill Sunday, and it was very hot. I would say that my chiropractic appointments give me like good results, like I feel better, but also they helped me to realize what was also one of the reasons why I had pain, and it was our bed sofa. So we don't have enough space in a flat to actually get a new sofa, and if we would get it, you know, we would have to just leave it, because we would have to throw the old one away, and we would have to leave our new sofa like when we would be moving. We don't want to like buy a new sofa, so we just started using another one, because there were two of them. One is smaller, but it seemed to be a bit more firm, so it is not as old and horrible as other ones. They look very similar. Honestly, just a crazy story. That sofa was giving me back pain, or it was actually making my back pain worse because it was already there. I also have like damaged, I would say, my left shoulder, So yeah, pretty crazy. Also, we had a very bad leak in the room where I do my makeup. Basically, I call it like my wardrobe room because there is my wardrobe, there is my mirror with all my skincare and stuff like that. It's not really a room. I would say that it's hardly a room even. It's really tiny. So, you know, the way I make it sound like wardrobe room. No, it's not like that. It's actually tiny room. But yeah, I was keeping my stuff there and I was doing my makeup there, and it started leaking. And the thing is, it was a leak from the toilet. So you don't want to imagine. I mean, I didn't get like, you know, it didn't leak on me, but it was just so horrible. And the thing is, it's still like kind of getting repaired, and they need to make breaks for some scenes to get dry and so on. It's really very complicated, and I'm really upset about it. I really dislike all this chaos, you know, where I live and so on. And yeah, so my husband is about to sell the house. Anyways, I'll show you my new breeches because I'm so excited about it. Perhaps I'm gonna show you also my new trainers and like top, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be in this video or not. I haven't been using, but I keep like having this in my bag. I really feel like it can kind of save your life, perhaps even. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to leave some comments, and don't forget to actually like this video, because you know, this is what helps my videos, this is what helps me. And I feel like some of you watch videos but don't really like it. I understand you not liking it, but I don't know, I don't want to beg, but this is what would really help.